What's it going, YouTube? This is Hank Saber, getting you guys my updated Shiranui deck profile here in the month of March 2016. And this is a deck I just picked up. It's a deck that I looked at and I saw that it had a lot of potential. And once Shiranui Sage got announced, I really wanted to pick up a copy of the deck. I mean, it's actually really combo-based and fun. It does have a certain gimmick to it. Certainly, like the years past, it was Sylvans, and last year, Infernoids. I think that this is sort of that sort of deck coming into the format. I mean, it has a lot of potential. It's not the most competitive decks right now because of the fact that Shiranui Spectral Sword takes a turn to load up its effect to synchro in the graveyard, and so because of that, you need to play certain cards to get to it quicker. And there aren't too many cards to do that. So, with that being said, I think that the deck is still a little bit slow, but once Sage comes out, it should be a lot faster, getting to Uni-Zombie turn 1 more consistently, and things like that. So, just like my Sylvan deck profile, I will go into what I play before I show you some of the explanations, because this way, if you see my list, you can just leave the video, hopefully drop a like on this one, because I really tried really hard to test this efficiently, and it actually has tested well. I've won a good amount of duels with it, but not yet any locals with it. So, 2 copies of Spectral Sword, the tuner. It's the ultra rare. This card's actually okay. It has the effect that you can special summon a synchro monster by using materials, the appropriate materials from the graveyard. Now, it is just something to take into consideration that it's not considered a synchro summon, so you don't need the exact monsters. So I don't own a copy of Revived King Hades or whatever it's called. It's a level 6 zombie synchro that requires Plague Spreader, and I don't play Plague Spreader, but you can still make that synchro because this is not considered a synchro summon, it's just considered a special summon. So you can synchro this with any level 4 Shiranui or whatever, any level 4, and you can make the Revived King Hades. But you can also make the Shiranui synchro, so there's that. So 2 Spectral Sword. I play 3 copies of Spirit Master. This card is like the Vega / Altair for the deck. It can special summon a Shiranui from your hand or graveyard, and then when it's banished, so they all have effect when they're banished except Spectral Sword. When this card is banished, you can just pop a card on the field, a face-up card in the field, which is actually really strong. So this probably is the best one in the deck. I play 2 copies of Shiranui Samurai. This card is just, I mean, it's okay. It's a beater. After you're damaged, well, you can banish a zombie from your graveyard to gain 600 attack, which is somewhat irrelevant, but after damage step, when it attacks a monster, you can banish both, so it's out to Dark Destroyer, which is really good. And then 1 Smith. Smith is like the least impressive one, however, it can still get you some advantage because when it's sent from the field to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add a Shiranui card from your deck, so you can add the trap, which is really good. The trap is like a Fire Lake, and the field spell, which is decent. And then when it's banished, you can have your zombie-type monsters not be destroyed by battle, which is very lackluster, but we do play 1 copy of it. For the non-Shiranuis, we play 3 copies of Secret Rare Mizuki. Mizuki is probably like the best like non-Shiranui zombie outside of Uni-Zombie because of the fact that you could just banish and special summon from your graveyard, so it's a very good card, and yeah, I just like just the 3 of, so 3 copies of Mizuki. I don't think this card will ever be cut in future lists. Like, this will be always a 3 of. And to complement the 3 Mizuki is 3 Uni-Zombie. Uni-Zombie is just, you can activate both effects every turn. It has an effect to discard from your hand to target 1 card in the field to gain a level. It could be on your opponent's side of the field or your side of the field. It's a really good card. It's a really good card. So, like, you have to run 3 of it. I don't like clogging too many normal summons, so sometimes, like, if I open up too many Shiranuis and this, it's like, it's not that good. But if you open this up with traps, because I am playing a trap version, it's actually really efficient. So you can send to gain a level from you can send a monster from your deck to also gain a level. You can send from your hand to gain a level. So yeah, it's actually pretty decent. So there's that. The last 2 monsters I'm playing in the deck are 2 copies of Card Trooper. A lot of people play Raiden or any sort of Lightsworn engine. I think that's really bad because I don't like collecting too many normal summons, and Card Trooper is a good card because of Dark Destroyer, and like Dark Destroyer, if you summon Raiden and they Dark Destroyer, then you kind of lose your play. Well, if this gets Dark Destroyed, you can still draw a card, which is okay. Yeah, I didn't really like Raiden, and I didn't really feel the need to play it. So, two copies of Card Troop is actually working really well. And then if you combo this off with Uni-Zombie, you can go into Dante and things like that. So, I do play 2 copies of Card Trooper. So, there are those. And then, like, the 3 copies of Upstart. The 1 copy of the Shiranui Style Synthesis, it's a field spell for the deck. I'll actually go back into this after. I play 3 Chicken Game. It should be only 2 with 2 Terraforming, but I only have the 1 copy of Terraforming for whatever reason, so it should be 2 and 2, but I play the 3 and 1. I play 2 copies of Shuffle Reborn. I'll get back to this card a little bit, because this card's like really important as well. I play 1 copy of Foolish and 1 copy of Burial. And then I play like a really heavy trap lineup, because I feel like the way the deck is designed, it can't survive without playing traps. So I do play 3 copies of the Fire Lake. I play Shiranui Style as well as Slash. This card's really good because you contribute a zombie and then destroy 2 cards on the field, any 2 cards on the field, and banish a Shiranui from your deck, which is like, gives you your advantage pretty early on, so it's good. And then I play 3 Needlebug. Needlebug, like, you need a mill in this deck, but you don't need to mill so many like cards, like in like Light Swords or whatever. All you need to hit is your Synchro, your tuner, and your like materials and your like Mizukis. So like you don't need to have like a boatload of zombies in the graveyard. You just have to have like 2 or 3 to combo off with. So like disguising this as back row is also like really good. So I like 3 Needlebug in the deck. Originally I was playing Call the Haunted. Now I play Oasis because sometimes in like the Cosmo matchup you don't want to leave something out for it to be hit with Farm Girl. So like Oasis is good, and also like it's good for another reason, which I'll get into a little bit. And then 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill. This card's good in the graveyard. We play Needlebug, we play Card Trooper, Vanities, and Solemn. So getting back into like the weird cards for the spells. So like the thing with the field spell is that a lot of people don't play it because they think it's slow, and I don't disagree. But if you tailor your deck to play the way it's supposed to be played, or the archetype it's supposed to be played, like you always find some success because like Konami knows the way decks are supposed to function, and there was just a Infernoid deck that played all the Void cards, and it came 5th place. And if you know how to play the cards, like you do pretty well. So like I would probably play 2 of this, but I only have 1, so I'd probably play 2. But maybe I'll cut a Chicken Game or a Terraforming for it. But basically, if you control no monsters, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and activate 1 of these effects. Target 1 zombie monster with 0 defense in your graveyard. Special summon it, which is good. You can summon Uni-Zombie, which is really good. If you're playing Needlebug, end phase, flip it, mill the Uni-Zombie, and then activate this in the standby phase, which is good. And then you can target 1 of your zombie monsters, or you can target 1 zombie monster with 0 defense, return to your graveyard, which is okay. You can return to the Synchro. But again, you have to wait another turn to activate the tuner, and then you can only activate 1 per turn. So, like, it's a good card, but it's a little bit slow. So, there's that. And then 2 copies of Shuffle Reborn. People don't know what, like, Shuffle Reborn does. I saw it in someone else's deck profile, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But if you control no monsters, again, so it has no monsters clause. You can target 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. Also, you can banish it during the end phase. Or you have to banish it during the end phase. You banish this card from your graveyard. You can do it the same turn as you did the other effect. Banish card from the graveyard, then target 1 monster in the field, shuffle into the deck, and draw a card. And then banish 1 card from your hand at the end phase, which is not that bad because a lot of the cards have effects when they're banished. But essentially this works as an Upstart Goblin because you could just activate, special summon, banish this card, shuffle that card into the deck, draw a card. So it's almost like an Upstart Goblin, but you have to banish a card at the end of the phase, at the end of your turn. So, like, I don't know how I feel about the card, but I definitely like it in this deck, particularly because they have effect when they're banished, so you're not losing a whole lot of advantage. So, anyway, that's the main deck, guys. I put a lot of theory into it, just because, like, I tried playing, like, the turbo version, and it didn't really work because of the fact that you need to have support behind your monsters, and, the Shiranui Trap is the best card in the deck, so you gain the most advantage by playing just a lot of back row, so, yeah. For the extra deck, I'll go into the Shiranuis first. The Shiranui Shogun Saga, it requires a zombie tuner and 1 more non-zombie tuners. When this card is special summoned, so it doesn't have to be synchro summoned. One is special summoned, so a lot of times you banish the level 6 synchro and spectral sword to summon this, and it'll get its effect when it's special summoned, not just synchro summoned. It also gets its effect when it's special summoned from the graveyard using Mizuki, which is really strong. So yeah, when it's special summoned, you banish one zombie monster from your graveyard, and this card gains that attack of the banished monster until the end of the turn. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, since the graveyard, you can target one of your banished zombie monsters to your defense, return it to the graveyard, and then you can only special one of these once per turn. So this card is pretty good because like it banishes your Shiranui, and your Shiranui will get effects when they're banished. And plus this card will become a beater. You get over Dark Destroyer pretty easily with this deck, which is really good between this and Samurai, which is really strong. 2 copies of Shiranui Samurai Saga. One of these will come out for Revive King Hades. Basically, once per turn, during either player's turn, you can target one of your banished zombie monsters, shuffle it into the deck, and then that zombie monster's attack, you can target, like, you can have, like, any monster on your opponent controls. So say you banish, this is really hard to explain, because I actually misread it at first, too. Like, if you banish, like, a Spirit Master, every monster your opponent controls with 1500 or less attack would become into defense. So that's what this card does. It's actually kind of subpar, but it's okay sometimes because it is 2500 and you can run over things. So yeah, one of these will come out for Revive King Hades, but I would still play one, so yeah. And then also when it's destroyed, if this card is banished rather. If this card is banished, if you target one face-up monster your opponent controls, it loses 500 attack, which is kind of irrelevant. I don't think I've ever used that effect, but now I'll go down in levels. I do play Trish. You barely make it, but the times you do, it's worth it. Play 1 Omega. This card will probably be played at multiples, but I only own the 1, so I play 1 Omega. 1 Scarlight, and this is why I play Oasis. I play it for Boxia, because you can make Boxia most of the time with 2 different attributes, because you have Mizuki, make it a worm type, and then you can also summon a Yuzi zombie, so this card's really good. So I play it, because you revive them with Oasis as worm type, so you can summon this, so it's good. Void Ogre Dragon, it's actually really good. It says 1 Dark Tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. So you summon a Uni Zombie once per turn during either player's turn when your opponent activates a spell trap, and you have no cards in your hand, you can negate it. So negate and destroy it. For the 7, I play the Black Rose. I play the Goyo Vakta. For the 6, the Goyo Guardian. It's actually okay, so I do play it. For the 5, I play Chambara because it can lead to OTK plays. So yeah, there's that. And then the 1 Dante, and then the 1 Castell. This is 14 cards. The 15th card would actually be, I think it's called Gigant Castle. It's a level 9 common synchro monster that requires 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner, or 1 or more non-tuners. Which is really good because you have Unizombie level 5, and you usually summon a level 4. You can't make Trish because you don't have 2 non-tuners. So, like, there's only 1 card, like, in the game that's decent, that has, like, that's a level 9 synchro that only requires 1 non-tuner, and it's Gigant Castle, which is like a 2900 beater. So yeah, so anyway guys, that's what I have to say about the deck. It's actually really good. It's efficient in what it does. So yeah guys, that's really all I have to say, and I'll talk to you guys sometime soon. So peace guys.